All right, good morning, everybody. We're gonna start with our toe lifts. So today I'm keeping it super simple. 6 circuits, 2 exercises per circuit, 45 work, 15 rest, 2 rounds. Let's lift our heels up, right, left. All right, so just roll through ball of the foot and the big toe. 4, 3, we're gonna march standing nice and tall. One of our exercises today is weighted marches. So that's why we're doing this. We're tucking the ribs under, bracing that core, adding in that lift. Good. 4, 3, slow deadlift. A little different today. Hinge it forwards, stand up nice and tall. So the marching, we're starting to wake up our hip flexors. The deadlift, we're starting to wake up our glutes and our hamstrings. So hinge and lift. So nice and tall. Hinge it forwards. You can almost imagine like you've made a sandwich with your front and your back hand. So hinge and lift. All right, slow squat right here. Take it down, push through to stand tall. So down, 2, up, 2, down, lift. So we want to keep our chest lifted. If you hinge it back and then you bend over for your squats, I want you to try to keep your chest lifted. It's okay if your squat isn't as deep as mine. If it's a little more shallow. Good, bring it up in the center, circle it up and back, and then bring it back around again. Up and back around. Your circles might be out here. Those are still good circles. If you need to, you can just do shoulder rolls. It's completely okay. We're just trying to wake up the shoulder joint, which does circumduction at 360. All right, step it, reach, step it forward, reach it back, forward and back, reach and pull. Yeah, I don't know what I did, but I'm definitely feeling my shoulders today. All right, we're gonna slow it down. We're gonna take it forward, hold it here, open your book, close your book, step it back, switching sides. So step it forward, hold, open your book, close your book, step it back. We're gonna go a little faster. Forward, open, close, step. So your lunge does not have to be super deep. If you just wanna step, open and close, feel free. All right, out to the side, side lunge, hold it here. Just a little side to side. A little bit of inner thigh work today. 4, 3, 2, hold it in the center, cat-cow, inhale, exhale. So it's little arch, little tuck. Head stays above your heart. This is all pelvic movement, and then working on a little control of your spine. If you don't want to arch and round, just breathe into your tummy and then breathe out and pull the belly button in. Good. All right, we're going to take it out to a plank. Feel free to do an incline plank. You can walk it forward, you can step it back. Your choice. We're just going to hold it. We do have a couple of circuits down on the ground today, but they will be on your back. So you do not have to do any planks or hands and knees work today. Good, let's go ahead, walk it all the way back up to standing. We're gonna bring it back into the center. We're gonna do our heel stomps right here, stomp and stomp. If you want to do full jumps, you can do that too. But I want you to stomp the heels down to the ground as hard as you can. Good. 4, 3, march it out, shake it out, roll the shoulders. Up, back, and down. Grab a quick drink. This is where you contemplate, what weights do you want to do today? So we've just got our 2 exercises, and we're just going to alternate back and forth between a lower body and an upper body, or a core and an upper body. We're going to do deadlifts, and we're going to do bicep curls. So you can always do the first round lighter and then go heavier on the second round, or vice versa. So 45 seconds of deadlifts in 3, 2, and 1. So just a nice good hinge forwards, and then stand up nice and tall. So this is where we work on that technique. We want to make sure that we're not rounding our shoulders, because I don't feel this in my glutes and my hamstrings at all. I feel like my back is just struggling to hold my upper body up. So shoulders down, ribs tucked, stiffen up that upper body, push your hips back towards your heels. Like you're gonna push your hips to the wall behind you, tap the wall, and then reach down to pick something up that's right next to your ankle. Good, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're gonna go for bicep curls. Pick your position. We're gonna do 1 round, your preference, and 1 round a position that you don't like to do. 4, 3, 2, 1, good. So I'm gonna do hammer curls. I just find this to be an easier body position, a little easier on my shoulders. Next round, I'm going to do palms facing up or palms facing forwards. But I want you to do, right now you can do like your favorite bicep curl variation, and then next round we're gonna do the bicep curl variation that you don't like to do. And for everybody that's different. Some people don't like hammer curls. If you have lighter weights, you can do both arms at the same time. I'm going heavier today, so I'm gonna go alternating, but if you wanna do both at the same time, go for it. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Little shakeout. We're going to go back for our deadlifts. And I'm fortunate that I can do a similar weight for my deadlifts and my bicep curls. Some of you might have to go heavier with deadlifts. 2 and 1. So shoulders down, ribs tucked, hinge it back, lift it up. So some of you might go heavier with your deadlifts and then lighter with your bicep curls. And that would actually be completely normal. Deadlifts use bigger muscles, biceps use smaller ones. Plus, when we do deadlifts, we're using all of the muscles in our glutes and in the hamstrings. With your biceps, you're really just using your biceps. A little bit in, your forearms and your shoulders, but it's really the front of the arms, smaller muscle, fewer of them. Good, 10 seconds. So going a little bit lighter is pretty normal. Good, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All the way up, little shakeout. Shoulders down, I'm gonna switch my hand position, palms facing forwards. Good, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good, so we're gonna curl it up, take it down, curl it up, and take it down. So I'm keeping my elbows down. We want to try not to lift the elbows forward. So when we do our curls, we don't have to pop the elbow up. That's going to get a little shoulders. We have those later. Try to keep your elbow directly underneath your shoulder up at the top. So it goes a little bit forwards. That's okay. It's just a nice good squeeze. Good, 10 seconds. Good, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Dumbbells down. Little shakeout. Walk around, grab a drink, wiggle out those fingers, spread them out, especially when we lift heavy weights and we hold on to things tightly. Second circuit, we're going for squats and rows. So this is another one where I can do about the same weight for squats and for rows, so I'm gonna keep my same dumbbells. With 45 seconds in 3, 2, and 1. So now we're gonna take it up. Your time's on, so you can go ahead, drop down, and then stand up nice and tall. Drop down, stand nice and tall. I'm going for a hip to shoulder width stance. And I'm making sure that my knee is tracking over about my second toe. So we just don't want to let the knees kind of knock in, and we don't want to let them go way out towards our pinky toes. Your hips might prefer if you turn your toes and your knees a little bit out to the corner. So give it a shot. Adjust your body position a little bit. See how it feels. Good, 3, 2, and 1. Little shakeout. We're gonna go for rows. I'm getting to the point now where my hands are getting tired, so I'm gonna let my hands rest. Good, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So just a nice good hinge, and then same thing. I'm gonna alternate. If you would like to do both at the same time, that's okay too. Like I said, I'm going a little heavier today. I'm trying to figure out what the shoulders are from. I know we did push-ups yesterday, but it really wasn't very many. You know, so we did push-ups in the 7 o'clock class, but I don't know why. I've just got very stiff fronts of my shoulders today. It's always fun with the guessing game. Like, what did I do to make myself kind of stiff and sore? What exercise was it? Good, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Little shakeout. We're gonna go back for those squats. Like I said, I'm keeping it nice and simple today. Good, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So feet hip to shoulder width, nice and tall, down and up. And I always tell people, try to keep your knees over your shoelaces. What that means is I don't want you pushing your knees forwards, like actively pushing them forwards. I want you to think, push your hips back, and then start to bend your hips, knees, and ankles at about the same rate. Your knees are going to bend. They're going to move kind of towards your toes. And if you're very long-limbed, you're gonna get a little bit more forward movement. We just don't wanna actively push the knees forwards, or just push it back and then turn it into a deadlift. We've done those. I want you to sit in a very low chair. 2, and 1. Little shakeout. Little shakeout. Then we're gonna go for rows. Round number 2. 4, 3, 2, 1. Shoulders down, ribs tucked, core braced, hinge it back. This is our deadlift position. This is kind of the bottom of our deadlift. Just that little forward fold, that little hinge. Knees can be soft. We don't have to lean forward and pop and like lock out those knees. Soften your knees. Your hips going back is a counterbalance to the dumbbells in the front. Keep those dumbbells close to your legs. We don't have to go way far forward and pull back. I actually try to go a little bit more up and down. I try to get pretty parallel to the floor. Try to go straight up and down. If you're a little more upright, you're gonna go a little more back. Here's 2, and 1. Bring it in, shake it out. Walk around, grab a quick drink. Circuit number 3. We're going for lunges. You can do round 1 right, round 2 left, or you can alternate. And then we're gonna go tricep kickbacks. If you wanna do an overhead extension, that's okay too. But we're just gonna go for basic lunges. I'm gonna do single dumbbell, just because that's gonna get a little bit of core. Not tons, but just a little. But 45 seconds, lunges, in 3, 2, and 1. And again, I'm gonna do round 1 right, and then I'm gonna do round 2 left. If you wanna alternate, because that feels better for your knees, then alternate. But I'm gonna go ahead and just do single-sided so I can focus on one leg and get those reps in on this side. So I'm trying to keep my shoulders somewhat over my hips. I'm just not gonna bend forwards and hinge, but I don't have to stay perfectly upright. So just a little hinge, but shoulders over hips, nice and tall. Front knee, again, over your shoelaces. Here's 2, and 1. We're going for tricep kickbacks. Just like we've done with our other upper body exercises, you can do alternating. You can do both at the same time. Good, 3, 2, and 1. So arms up, kick it back, bring it in, kick it back, and bring it in. So again, this is our little bit of a hinge forwards. If we're really upright, we just want to make sure that that we really have those elbows back, but I like that little bit of a forward fold, trying to get my upper arm as close to parallel as I can get, and then slow and controlled. It's always very tempting. We like to kind of swing sometimes, right? Try not to swing. Slow and controlled, especially on the way forward. Instead of just dropping the dumbbell, resist the dumbbell coming forwards. 3, 2, and 1. Bring it up. We're going back for our lunges. If you did right side, now we're doing left. If you were alternating, keep alternating. Good. 3, 2, and 1. So nice and tall. Drop down lunge, and then stand. So I think if I want to set something down right next to my foot, so my dumbbell will be exactly in line with my foot on the floor. So I'm not putting it down ahead of me, and I'm not putting it down like behind me. I'm just gonna set it down. Look like I set it down right by my foot. So we want to think about bending that back knee. Try to get your knee closer to the floor. It doesn't have to touch. As close as your legs are okay with going. 3, 2, and 1. Shake it out. We're going for tricep kickbacks. Round number 2. Here's 4, 3, 2, and 1. So arms up. So we just did a row, and we paused at the top. And we're just going to kick it back, bring it in. If you want to make this a little bit harder, kick it back and then come just until your hand is pointing right down towards the floor. So instead of coming all the way back to your shoulders, which actually starts to get biceps, take it back and then just bring it. Your elbow is about at 90 degrees. We're doing half reps. So we're just keeping our dumbbells kind of in that top half of the movement. A little bit more time under tension. Good. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it up, shake it out. Walk around, grab a drink. We have one more circuit standing, and then we're gonna have 2 down on the floor. Standing circuit, weighted marches. Nothing fancy. Hands can be hips, shoulders. This is harder. Second exercise, round 1, side raises. Round 2, front raises. If you want a brain challenge today, 1 front, 1 side. But if you're like, nope, brain's turned off, then we're just gonna go ahead and do round 1 right, or round 1 side, round 2 front. Good. 45 seconds. Weighted march. 3, 2, and 1. So nice and tall. So this is shoulders down, ribs tucked, march and march. I want to try to avoid weeble wobble. I want you to think lift a knee, push the other foot down like you're pushing the floor away from you as you lift the knee up. So it's not just the knee, it's also your standing leg. We're tightening up all the muscles in that standing leg. Push the floor away, lift the knee. Check your body position, little bit of a rib tuck, teeny tiny little rib tuck. So tightening up the core without punching forward. Shoulders down, ribs tucked under. 2 and 1. All right, side raises, side raises. I'm gonna go a little heavier, but again, I'm going to alternate. I'm gonna alternate. 3, 2, and 1. So I'm just gonna do side, down, side, down. So I've got 10. This is heavy for me. So I'm still working on slow and controlled. Take it out and down. If you need to, you can rotate your palm forward and you can lift your thumb up to the ceiling like you're gonna go give somebody a really big hug. So just side and side. I also tend to do scapular plane raises, so I'm not straight out to the side. I'm a little bit diagonal. So think 30 to 45 degrees. Good, 3, 2, and 1. All right, weighted marches. And I just figured out why my shoulders are sore. I know what we did yesterday. Good, 3, 2, 1, shoulders down. If you want to make this a little bit harder, rack the shoulders or rack the dumbbells at your shoulders, but I'm not letting my dumbbell rest on my shoulders. I'm pulling my shoulder blades down and back, elbows forwards, and I'm holding my dumbbell here. It just changes your balance a little bit. If you want to make it even harder, arms up overhead, but we don't want to be here. This is really hard on your shoulders. You want to lock them out if this is what you choose to do. So I can already feel my core is working so much harder with my arms up. So pick what's going to work for you today. So if that means here, because it's like, yep, this is what my shoulders are okay with, then this is where we're at. 2 and 1. All right, front raises. Yesterday at 7, we did full front raises or full side raises. That's why my shoulders are sore today. I knew I'd figure it out. All right, front raises right here. So lift up, bring it down, lift up, and bring it down. Same rules apply. If you want to do palms facing in, palms facing in. If you want to do palms facing down, you can do that too. Just depends on your shoulders, what's good for your shoulders. Having your palms facing in is a little bit more of a shoulder safe variation. Opens up that shoulder joint a little bit. So nice, good lift. Got about 10 seconds. We're going to head down to the floor. Good, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Dumbbells down. Little shakeout. Walk around, grab a drink. Heading down to the floor. We're going to do crunches and chest presses. If you're staying standing, you can do a standing crunch. You can do a standing crunch. If you don't want to do the flexion, you can do farmer's carries. Chest presses. A banded chest press is a great option. Incline push-ups is an option, or lean back into a chair and do incline push-ups, not overhead and not straight out, but where the wall and the ceiling meet. Just sit to the front of the chair, lean back, incline chest press. We're also going to do supine hip circles. If you're standing, you're going to do hip circles like this, you know, go both directions, and then pullovers. If you're standing, you're going to do a straight arm press back. But those are our 4 exercises down on the floor. Let's take it all the way down, and we're going to start with crunches, 45 seconds in 3, 2, and 1. So just basic crunch, nothing fancy. We're going to exhale it up, inhale it on the way down. So exhale up, inhale down. If you don't want to do a lift and a lower, you are welcome to just lift and hold. So you can just hold your crunch, or you can just lift and do a dead bug. So that's okay too. So this is for those of you that do not want to have any spinal movement today. So just nice, good exhale up, inhale down, and I'm trying to keep a little tension on my abs the entire time. So when I go down to the floor, I don't relax into the floor. I just lift and then I lower. 3, 2, and 1. Good. Grab your dumbbells for chest press. Again, I go a little heavier, so I use caution when picking up my dumbbells. So I kind of try to curl them into my chest. Good. Time is on. So just a nice good press up and then bring it down. Press up and bring it down. So just press and lower, press up, lower down. Same thing, I exhale on the up, inhale on the down. So I'm exhaling on the hard part, inhaling when I lower. If you would like to do palms facing in, a little bit more shoulder safe, but more triceps. If you can angle those elbows out just a little away from your torso, form that letter A, then you're going to get a little more chest. 2 and 1. Carefully set those dumbbells down. And then we're gonna go back for round number 2, basic crunch, or if you're standing, you can do a standing crunch. Good, 3, 2, and 1. So I'm gonna exhale it up, and then I'm gonna inhale it down, exhale up, inhale down. Even when we do our exhale, we wanna try not to actively like push our tummy up and make that big dome. So we exhale, pull the belly in a little bit. So we're trying to think about engaging some of those deep ab muscles. So we want to try not to make that dome, that round loaf of sourdough. We want to keep ours a little bit flat. It was a little bit more like focaccia. So just a nice little bit more of a flatbread. It's got a little bit of bubbles and rumples, but that's okay. 2 and 1. All right, carefully pick up those dumbbells. We want to try not to have our dumbbells out and straight arms and pull them in. I have them by my hips and I carefully curl them up. Good, 3, 2, and 1. Nice, good chest press. So inhale, exhale. So long neck, shoulders away from the ears. So we lower down, try to get your upper arms to come in contact with the floor, a little stretch. We want to keep our wrists in line with our elbows. So when we bring the dumbbells down, we don't want to bring the end of the dumbbell to touch our chest. They're up in the middle, and then we open, wrist in line with the elbow, and then up. 10 seconds. Good. Carefully bring it in. We're going to set the dumbbells off to the side. We're going to need a dumbbell for pullovers if you're on the floor, press backs if you're standing, and then we're going to do hip circles. So we're going to take our legs up. If you're on the floor, you can do both at the same time. If you're standing, one side and then the other. But let's take those legs up, 45 seconds, in 3, 2, and 1. So legs are up, toes are pointing, and we're gonna do circles with our hip. This is a little bit of core, but when you're on the floor especially, I want you to think about moving from your hips. So if you see here, I have bent knees, I'm moving from my knees. I'm really not getting good hip work here. I want you to try to do nice good hip circles. And we're about halfway, so I am gonna change direction. So right now, this round, I am doing each leg individually. If you're doing both legs at the same together, that's fine. You're just gonna get a little bit of a different movement, and that's okay. You're gonna get a little bit more core. I'm getting a little bit more hip here. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Carefully bring it in. We're gonna go for pullovers. I am gonna go 1 dumbbell. You are welcome to do 1 dumbbell in each hand, but I like to do 1 dumbbell for this one. Hold it on the ends. 2, 1. Ribs tucked, open from the shoulder, lower the hands and the dumbbell towards the floor, and then lift right back over your chest. So lower and lift. The challenge here, the closer we get to the floor, the more likely your low back is gonna arch and your ribs are gonna want to lift, but we wanna keep those ribs tucked under, low back close to the floor. If you have issues with your shoulders going overhead when you're standing, you're gonna kind of have the same issue here because this is arms going overhead. We're just lying on the floor instead of standing. So don't let your ribs arch, your low back arch, to compensate for that shoulder mobility. Good, bring it in. Dumbbell down to the side. If on the first round you did both legs together hip circles, feel free to do that again, or independent. I did independent, so now I'm going to do them together, and I'm just gonna do nice good circles. They do not have to be huge. You can just do nice good circles. Think about drawing circles on the ceiling. So if you're doing both together, you're getting a little bit more core. If you're doing each leg independently, you're gonna get a little more hip. Good, and we are about halfway, so feel free to change direction. We want to make sure that we can go both ways, strengthen our body, both directions, both sides. And again, they don't have to be these big, huge circles. Good. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it in. We're going to go for our pullovers. Round number 2. This is our last exercise for today before we stretch. So knees bent, feet flat, pull the ribs down, tuck them under, soft elbows so they're straight, but there's just a little soft bend in the elbow. And then we open the shoulders, stretching underneath the arms. Lower the dumbbell towards the floor and then lift it right up over your chest. Don't have to go to hips, don't have to go to knees, right over the chest is where you're gonna go. You might notice if you're doing one dumbbell in each hand that one arm easily goes a little bit closer to the floor than the other. So just be aware of that. If you're using one dumbbell holding it on the ends, keep an eye out for which arm likes to take control. Good, bring it in, rest. Carefully set that dumbbell off to the side. We're gonna carefully set the dumbbells off, out of the way. You can grab a quick drink of water. I am gonna carefully come up to standing, quick put my equipment away. You're more than welcome to just leave your equipment where it is as long as you have space to do a little bit of stretching. And we're gonna start on our backs today. We're gonna keep it simple. If you don't want to be on your back, that's perfectly all right. We're gonna take our left leg out straight, pull the right knee into the chest. You can do this sitting, or this is a really great balance challenge if you want to do this one standing up today, or you can just stand nice and tall against a wall. Grab in front of the knee or behind the thigh. So if you've got knee issues, try grabbing behind your thigh. If your knees are okay with it, you can grab in front of the knee. Good, let's switch. Right leg out, left knee, pull it in. We're keeping that right leg as straight as we possibly can while we pull in on that left leg. Good, 3, 2, and 1. All right, we're gonna switch. Left leg is straight, right knee comes up. Now we're gonna take that right knee, bring it across the body like we're trying to put the knee or the foot on the floor, and it might not touch, that's okay. And then our right arm, we're gonna take it and we're gonna have palm facing up, and we're gonna try to keep that arm straight. So we're keeping our right fingers and our right toes as far away from each other as we possibly can. We kind of look a little bit like a pretzel. We're doing a little bit of a twist. 2 and 1. Bring it back in, switching sides. So now right leg is out straight. Left leg, we just pull that knee up, and now we take that left knee across the body, lift the hip up and over. And then left hand, just take it palm facing up, open the shoulder, trying to keep the back of the hand and the shoulder as close to the floor as we can get. So a little chest stretch, little torso stretch, and then a little bit of hip and glute. Good, let's go ahead and bring it into the center. We're just gonna pull both knees into the chest. Give yourself a little bit of a hug. If you want to lift your nose and take your nose towards your knees, you can, but that is optional. Just a little bit of rounding of the spine with a little hold. But if you just want to have your head resting on the floor, that's okay too. Good, let's go ahead and rock ourselves up. You can rock yourself up, or you can roll to the side and push yourself up to a seated position, whatever feels good. Both legs out straight, nice and tall. Rotate the hips forwards, and then start to walk yourself forward, hands to the knees, the shins, maybe the ankles, maybe the toes. Our feet are just relaxed. so they don't have to be flexed or pointed, just nice and relaxed. Good, 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead and bring it in. We're gonna roll over, hands and knees, coming back for child's pose. So hips over knees, tuck the toes under, sit your hips back towards your heels, reach the arms out, nice good stretch. This is a good one to do since we did pullovers. All right, let's take the right hand and move it over to the right a little bit. And now the left hand is gonna go on top of the right hand. Hips stay close to the heels, so now a little bit more of a side bend here. 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it back to the center. Now take the left hand just out to the left a little bit. Right hand goes on top and sit your hips back to your heels. I did one hand width movement. I did not go over very far. So I kind of looked at where my hand was in the center and then just put my thumb next to where my pinky would be. 2, 1. Bring it back into the center. Come up to hands and knees. We're going to do a little cat-cow or belly breathing. So we're just going to do a little inhale, and then we're going to exhale. Good. Inhale and exhale. One more time. Inhale and exhale. Walk your hips to your heels, hands towards your knees, right leg comes around to the front, half kneeling position. Tuck your tail, squeeze your glute, little bit of a push forwards, and now we're gonna give ourselves a nice good pat on the back. You can give yourself extra stretch assistance from the top at the elbow, or fingertips can just push back on your tricep a little bit. Good, release, bring it in, switch it over to the other side. Half kneeling position, tuck your tail, squeeze your glute, little push forwards, and again, give yourself a nice good pat on the back. Again, you can give yourself a little extra help here or a little extra help here. In 3, 2, and 1. Bring it down. Pull the front leg back just a little bit. We're going to come up to a standing position. We're going to roll the shoulders up, back, and down into your back pocket. So thumbs pointing forwards. We've opened at the shoulders. Good. Shoulders down, ear to shoulder, side to side. Good. Bring it up. We're going to look to one side and then look to the other. Good. Bring it in. We're going to take a nice deep breath in. Spread the fingers, spread the toes, and exhale. Good. One more time. Big breath in and out. And you are all done.